Welcome back to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm still Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV, and the Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news show.
If you have a news topic or tips you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show is live on Monday around noon and rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired on Thursday at noon, 3 and 6.
Coming up, conservation in Dolores, a wolf killed, and more.
And also opioid addiction and the Dolores Clinic with weather, sheriff's roundup, and area happenings. Today is September 18th, 2017, and now the news at noon. From the Cortez Journal, an endangered Mexican gray wolf has been killed by federal employees after a Native American tribe requested the animal be removed from the wild in the wake of a string of cattle deaths near the Arizona-New Mexico border. The death of the female wolf marks the first time in a decade that efforts by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to curb livestock attacks by wolves has had lethal consequences for one of the predators. The decision to remove the member of the Diamond Pack was first made in June after 3 calves were killed over several days, sparking concern among wildlife managers about what they described as an unacceptable pattern of predation. An investigation determined the female wolf was likely the culprit based on GPS and radio telemetry tracking. Another calf was killed in July, prompting the White Mountain Apache tribe to call for the removal. That was followed by one confirmed kill and another probable kill by members of the pack on national forest land adjacent to the reservation. Fish and Wildlife Service Regional Director Benjamin Tuggle issued another order in August calling for the wolf's removal by the most expeditious means possible. Environmentalists decried the move, saying they are concerned about the possibility of managers reverting to a rigid 3 strikes rule that called for wolves to be removed from the wild or killed if they preyed on livestock. After years of legal wrangling, federal officials revised that policy in 2015 to allow for more options when dealing with nuisance wolves. Fish and Wildlife officials said current rules allow for the control of problem wolves and that the agency will continue to manage wolves in Arizona and New Mexico under those provisions. They also said they will continue to work with ranchers to limit conflicts. The wolf recovery team earlier this year set up a diversionary cache of food for the Diamond Pack, which roams parts of tribal land and the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. 2 other pack members were also removed and placed in captivity at the beginning of the year because of predation concerns. There are now more Mexican gray wolves roaming the American Southwest than at any time since the federal government began trying to reintroduce the animals nearly 2 decades ago. The most recent annual survey shows at least 113 wolves spread between southwestern New Mexico and southeast Arizona. The Fish and Wildlife Service has been criticized for its management of the wolves by ranchers, who say the animals are a threat to their livelihoods, and environmentalists who want more captive bred wolves to be released.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, with the opioid epidemic reaching unprecedented national levels and more heroin flowing into southwest Colorado, additional addiction prevention work is set to start this fall. In October, 12 AmeriCorps members will be hired across the state as part of the Colorado AmeriCorps Community Opioid Response Program, and 2 will be hired for a year to work on southwest Colorado to organize prevention events and education. The program is funded through federal and state grants. AmeriCorps engineers will organize educational events taught by experts for doctors and other prescribers around the use of opioids such as oxycodone. Members will also organize education around safe storage and disposal of medication for the community and events for students, said Kathleen McInnes, Executive Director of Southwestern Colorado Area Health Education Center. She would also like to see if there is community interest in forming a stakeholder group to work on solutions for Southwest Colorado. The group could include health departments, educators, law enforcement, youth advocacy groups, and prescribers, she said. San Juan Basin Health does not have a prevention program focused on opioid use.
From the Cortez Journal, a Pleasant View farmer is testing a new type of drip irrigation system that attaches to a center pivot sprinkler. The High Desert Conservation District has teamed up with farmer Brian Wilson and Teeter Irrigation of Johnson City, Kansas, to determine if the company's trademarked Dragon Line system will work for this area. Instead of using the nozzles on the center pivot to irrigate, a row of drip lines are attached that drag behind the sprinkler, watering the crop at its base instead of from above. It saves water and reduces evaporation, erosion, and runoff, said Travis Custer, agricultural consultant with High Desert. It is the first trial of the technology in this area. To compare crop yields, one section of the center pivot irrigates a field of wheat normally from spray nozzles, and an adjacent section utilizes a series of drip lines attached to the nozzles. After harvest, the yields will be compared. Soil moisture monitors have also been installed in areas watered by the drip and nozzle sections of the sprinkler. The hybrid center pivot and drip line technology was created by Teeter Irrigation and launched in 2015. The technology has proven effective in Kansas and other plain states that irrigate from underground aquifer. But since local farms use surface water delivered via ditches and pipelines that carry more debris, a filter system had to be installed on the center pivot being used on the Pleasant View trial. Farmers have switched to center pivot sprinkler technology because it is less labor intensive than side roll sprinklers, which must be moved by hand. Center pivots are automated and move in a circular pattern, watering from a row of nozzle heads. Water flow and speed are adjustable and can be controlled remotely. But center pivots work best on flatter ground. On undulating farmland and fields with steeper slopes, center pivots can cause water to pool in low spots and run off the field or drain into the sprinkler's wheel tracks, creating muddy conditions. Steve Miles, board member of the High Desert Conservation District, said, "What's exciting is that the drip system attachment to the center pivot could eliminate those problems because the water is delivered at ground level. It appears to be working in the test plots. The lower areas of the drip line section are not getting waterlogged, and there is less runoff off the field. How often the filter system has been flushed is also part of the experiment." Teeter Irrigation provided the Dragon Line materials for the Pleasant View trial in cooperation with the High Desert Conservation District and the Dolores Water Conservancy District. If practical, the experiment will continue for the next 2 seasons and will be tested on different crops, including alfalfa and beans.
According to the Cortez Journal, Cortez firefighters responded to several small fires caused by lightning strikes during a brief thunderstorm last Thursday afternoon. Assistant Fire Chief Sean Biddle said 3 trees caught fire in various parts of Montezuma County between 3:30 and 4:30 p.m., including one near Southwest Memorial Hospital and at least one on County Road G. Other nearby fire departments, including the Lewis Areola Fire Protection District, also responded to a few fires during the storm. No structures were threatened by the fires, Biddle said, adding that the first 2 trees were quickly extinguished. "We're still working on the last one, but we should have it out shortly," he said at about 4:30 p.m. last week. The National Weather Service predicted an 80% chance of showers for Montezuma County on that Thursday night.
From the Cortez Journal, the Nature Center at Butler Corner, north of Dolores, will be preserved thanks to a recently completed conservation assessment with the Montezuma Land Conservancy. The 263-acre property features meadows, forests, and trails and is home to many wildlife species. It is along Dolores Norwood Road, where it corners into the San Juan National Forest. Last year, landowner Kathy Butler, a retired teacher and former Dolores librarian, created the Nature Center as an outdoor classroom to teach young people the values of the natural world. The Nature Center includes 5 miles of trails with numerous bluebird houses along the way, an existing building renovated into a classroom, a modest old-fashioned schoolhouse, and a, quote, story trail intended to bring picture books alive for children as they explore nature. A devoted writer of children's books, Butler also plans writing and literature programs for children at the Nature Center. The conservation easement that will ensure that the natural habitat, scenic open space, and importantly, the access for education and recreation remain viable into the future, she said. It also works to protect and expand critical deer and elk habitat of the adjacent San Juan National Forest. Conservation easements are permanent, preserving open space with development restrictions that are attached to the property deed that pass on to future owners of the property. The nonprofit Nature Center at Butler Corner is under the umbrella of the San Juan Resources Conservation and Development Council. It is open for schools, teachers, and conservation groups seeking to conduct nature field trips. In December, Great Outdoors Colorado awarded the Land Conservancy and the Nature Center over $264,000 in grant money to create the easement and help fund the education programs. To learn more, visit the website at www.thenaturecenter@butlercorner.org or call 970-882-4593.
According to the Cortez Journal, the Cortez Fire Protection District dispatched 3 firefighters to wildfires north of Grand Junction last week. The firefighters are on a 21-day dispatch and headed to South Dakota to fight wildfires in the area, Fire Chief Jeff Vandervoort said during the district board's meeting on Wednesday. The dispatched firefighters, Lieutenant Mike Cabell, Mike McCoach and Matt Fidella were consulted on the extended appointment before it was approved. Cabell and McCoach are certified engine bosses, which allows them to man the brush trucks. All 3 dispatched firefighters are traveling to South Dakota to fight a fire that had scorched 1,100 acres of land by Wednesday night. I apologize. The board discussed the construction of the new fire department with project manager Kyle Blackmer. According to Blackmer, the project is slated to be completed in May 2018. The building is part of the New Buildings training area on North Washington Street. The department has not decided what will be done with the old station. It may be used for storage or sold, according to Vandervoort. And now, here's our weather report.
Sunny, dry, and clear. Weather's on tap for today for DCTV country. The drawback is that winds from the south will be on the increase over the next 39 hours. This due to a trough of cooler air passing to our north. Dry and breezy conditions will dominate for the work week. What's now being called a significant cold front is expected to be knocking on the door late this week and into the weekend. With the strong southerly wind, the word is that for now that cold front will ooze in rather than hit as fast and head on with a shock. Temps are expected to be 10 to 15 degrees below normal, with showers and high mountain snowfall becoming a threat Friday and Saturday. More exact locations on that threat will be available by Wednesday. Hurricane Jose will take a northwestward track, staying well off the east coast for the near future. However, despite that, dangerous surf and rip currents can be expected along the coastlines of the southeast, mid-Atlantic, and northeast. Light rainfall will hug the coast from North Carolina to Delmarva today. As Jose continues moving northward, precipitation will expand into the northeast and southern New England coastlines by Tuesday morning. Expect rainfall amounts to increase during tomorrow afternoon and into Wednesday morning, with a slight risk of flash flooding. A frontal boundary across the Great Lakes to the southern plains will be the focus for showers and thunderstorms today. As that boundary lifts northward, scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms are expected near the front in the southern and central plains and middle Mississippi Valley. The risk of flash flooding is marginal across the plains and into the middle Mississippi Valley through Tuesday morning. That precipitation will move along the boundary from the Mississippi Valley to the Ohio Valley by Tuesday. Expectations are for high temperatures throughout the plains, Mississippi Valley, and the Great Lakes, running 10 to 15 degrees above average on Tuesday and into Wednesday. A strong cold front will sweep across the northern plains tomorrow and will bring enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms, especially on Tuesday evening. The primary threat being damaging winds. The strong cold front that will likely produce severe thunderstorms in the northern plains will first bring widespread precipitation across the Pacific Northwest and Intermountain West. Today, this front will move past the Pacific Northwest and Northern Rockies as it moves toward the northern plains. Behind that front, widespread precipitation will be possible for northwest regions, along with higher elevation snow in the Cascades and Northern Rockies. Another front will approach Tuesday, which will continue the widespread rainfall and higher elevation snow in the northwest. Temperatures across the northwest are expected to be 10 to 20 degrees below average, with high temperatures 5 to 10 degrees below average across California and the central Great Basin. Temperatures in the interior of New England will continue to see temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above average for the short term. Today's high is expected to be 72, with lower mid-70s until 65 for Friday. Low temps will run from 46 to 50. The winds spoken of earlier will run 5 to 15 today with gusts to 25, 15 to 20 Tuesday with gusts 40 miles per hour daytime and 30 nighttime. Wednesday 10 to 15 with gusts to 30. Hold on to your hats. Now back to the news.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, the Colorado Commission of Higher Education announced on Tuesday its master plan, Colorado Rises, Advancing Education and Talent Development, as a call to action to increase education levels among state residents. 55% of the state's adult population has a degree or certificate, and 49% has an associate's degree or higher. When broken down by race, only 29% of Hispanics and Native Americans and 39% of African Americans have a certificate or degree. A study conducted by the Center on Education and the Workforce at Georgetown University found that by 2020, nearly 3/4 of the jobs in Colorado will require some form of education beyond a high school diploma. In order to meet the demands of a changing workforce, the Commission aims to have 66% of adults earn a certificate or degree by 2025. The Commission identified 4 strategic goals as part of its master plan: increasing credential completion, erasing equity gaps, improving student success, and investing in affordability and innovation. Public colleges and universities in Colorado produced approximately 48,850 certificates and degrees in the last academic year. The goal is to produce an additional 73,500 certificates and degrees by 2025. The Commission found that Colorado has a higher demand for educated workers in science, technology, engineering, and math than the national average. To meet the needs of employers, the Commission said more adults need credentials in STEM fields. Similarly, Colorado has a growing shortage of educators, and the Commission acknowledged the importance of also producing more teaching credentials.
Last week's CO2 average was 403.70, week before last 403.71, and 1 year ago 401.17. 10 years back it was 380.59. The brain chemical missing in Parkinson's disease, dopamine, may have a hand in its own death. Dopamine helps keep body movements fluid. A new study suggests it can kick off a toxic chain reaction that ultimately kills the nerve cells that make it. Researchers found that a harmful form of dopamine can inflict damage on cells in multiple ways. The results were published online September 7 in Science. Teresa Hastings, neuroscientist of the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine, says the research brings multiple pieces of the puzzle together. Findings also hint at a potential treatment for an estimated 10 million people worldwide with Parkinson's. Less cellular damage occurred when some of the neurons were treated early on with antioxidants. Co-author Dmitry Krank, a neurologist and neuroscientist at Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine in Chicago, and colleagues took skin biopsies from healthy people and people with one of 2 types of Parkinson's disease, inherited or spontaneously arising. Researchers coaxed these skin cells into becoming dopamine-producing neurons, similar to those found in the movement-related region of the brain that degenerates, causing Parkinson's. Levels of a harmful form of dopamine, known as oxidized dopamine, began rising in these energy-producing organelles. Neurons from people with the more common sporadic form of Parkinson's showed a similar increase. Cells derived from healthy people didn't accumulate oxidized dopamine. This dangerous form of dopamine seemed to kick off other types of cellular trouble. Analytical neurochemist Dominic Hare of the Florey Institute of Neuroscience and Mental Health in Melbourne, Australia, said findings are direct experimental evidence from human cells that the very chemical lost in Parkinson's disease contributes to its own demise. To work in people, antioxidants would need to cross the blood-brain barrier early, probably even before symptoms appear. Crank said without this human model, we would not have been able to untangle the pathway. In dishes of mouse neurons with Parkinson's-related mutations, dopamine didn't kick off the same toxic reaction. Human neurons contain more dopamine than mice neurons. The new results were expected. These toxic cellular events occurred in lab dishes, not actual brains, so more research is still needed.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, after months of planning, the Dolores School District has received a grant from the Colorado Health Foundation to build an on-campus health clinic. Dolores School District RE4A applied for the grant this year after receiving a $25,000 planning grant from the Colorado Department of Health and Environment to design the clinic in partnership with the Southwest Open School Clinic in Cortez. At the school board meeting on Thursday, Superintendent Scott Cooper said he had received word just a few days before that Dolores would receive the money. The board approved the $478,000 Health Foundation grant in a 4-to-1 vote. Vice President Rebecca Frazier voted against it. Although the district still needs to request bids from architects to design the clinic, Cooper said the preliminary plan is to build an extension on the south end of the sixth grade corner of the elementary school. The clinic will act as a satellite of the one at SWOS, and it will be open to the public, although its primary focus will be on treating students. Cooper said he still hopes to hire 2 more social workers to help care for students' mental health needs, in addition to the 2 the district hired in June. Cooper said he hopes to hire an architect this fall and start construction on the clinic as early as spring break. As part of the planning process funded by the CDHE grant, this school district is conducting a survey of parents in Dolores to learn about their children's health needs. A link to the survey was sent in an email to parents in the district earlier this month, and Cooper said he believed it was also on the school website's homepage, but it did not appear to be there on Friday afternoon.
According to the Cortez Journal, after the second race of the season on September 10th, the local High Desert Composite mountain bike team is ranked 24th out of 31 teams in the overall division standings of the Colorado High School Cycling League. The Montezuma County-based high school team is in its second year and has grown from 2 riders to 6 riders. The team is not tied to any one school, and any student can join. There are divisions for freshman boys and girls, sophomore boys and girls, junior varsity boys and girls, and varsity boys and girls. They compete in Division II of the South Conference along with the Durango High School team, which is in first place. High Desert coach Mike Schmidt, a former mountain bike racer for Fort Lewis College, said, "It's been impressive how well they have done in the short time that they have been racing. The goal is for them to have fun and enjoy the sport." High Desert Composite competes in 4 races, with the next one September 24th in Granby. The team is growing and gaining traction, said team organizer Pete Eschalier. A lot of people don't know about it, but it is a great opportunity and a lot of fun. The team holds regular practices at Boggy Draw and Phil's World, offering instruction on basic riding technique and racing tips. Coach Sabina Krauschar, who also raced for Fort Lewis, is urging girls to sign up for the program. They can be any age and any ability level, she said. "We are interested in getting the youth into riding bikes." The team competes in the Colorado High School Cycling League and is sanctioned by the National Interscholastic Cycling Association. It is an offshoot of High Desert Devo, which began in 2015 to support local youth mountain biking and race training. For more information, contact Pete Escalier at 970-565-4408 or email highdesertdevo@gmail.com. The team also has a Facebook page.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of September 11th through the 17th. A town resident requested assistance removing a skunk they had trapped. Animal Control was notified. A county resident requested extra patrols on Highway 491. A neighbor reported a suspicious vehicle at a county residence. Dispatch received multiple calls of bears in town daily, all week. Deputies and wildlife officers responded. Brandon Smith was arrested on menacing, harassment, and third-degree assault charges after officers responded to a family disturbance. The Cub Scouts came in for a project on law enforcement and fingerprinting. A deputy instructed the Scouts on reasons for fingerprinting and technique. 2 adults and 5 children participated. Theft was reported by the Dove Creek Superette. This case is under investigation. That's it for today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
In High Canyon Country happenings, it's time for the 16th annual Harvest Wine Festival at Wines of the San Juan on September 23rd and 24th, held in Blanco, New Mexico. Dance to live music by the Cannondalls and Jones and Miles on Saturday. Wake Up Laughing and Eldergrown will take the stage Sunday. Enjoy delicious food, a variety of local artisans, a complimentary photo booth, and of course, beer and wine. Tickets are available online now with a special 2-day discounted ticket. Saturday from 12 to 7 p.m. and Sunday from 12 to 6. No pets, no outside food, and no outside alcohol. For details, call 505-632-0879. At the Enterprise Bar and Grill in Rico, you can watch Facebook Live on September 23rd and 24th. FCPI will investigate the Enterprise and their ghosts. They will also be checking out the mountain adjacent to the Enterprise before the bar closing time for Bigfoot, as he is known to show his presence high above the scenic mining town, lobbing boulders to protect his territory. What will the team of SCPI discover? Catch them live to find out. If you miss it, watch them later on the Facebook page. 2017 I Am Music Fest is held in Durango September 21st through the 24th. The festival includes live music from 20-plus bands out of Colorado, performance and visual artists, and is host of 2017 Colorado Music Summit. All of the proceeds from the festival will go to benefit the I Am Music 501c3, providing music connection and opportunities to many. Weekend passes range from $20 to $35. More details about the festival and the organization are online at iammusicfest.com. All of the happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. The email is dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 677-4119 and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs live at noon Monday through Wednesday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 3, and 6.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook. That's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook, Jerry Tope, and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.